9 minutes 49 seconds. That's how long it took me from the second I stepped foot in this cave right here to find diamonds. The journey was quick, but proved to be perilous. So I can get some good materials, but I don't just want to flat out build a vein mine. Oh, hello. Oh shoot, am I gonna die here? Hello, don't shoot me, please. No, I don't want to die. Oh my goodness. Wow. Well, that was really close to the first death in the, So yeah, John Fruchon. Oh shoot, man, I can't believe I lived that. Okay. Oh my goodness. My axe just died. So the five, not a freaking spider. I'm not going to die that way. There you go. We're probably the 5 most famous albums that eventually I managed to make it deeper into the cave system and found what I was looking for. During the times in between and after him being in the Red Hot Chili Peppers, John Frusciante had a solo career where he, basically where he created whatever kind of music he felt. Oh, look at this. Oh, a mine shaft. He started creating techno music. Well, not quite techno music. I think it was called like acid rock, maybe. I'm gonna keep it that way. The whole reason I was telling that John Frusciante story. Oh, nice! I got a name tag. Redstone for the first time. Some mine carts. Pumpkin seeds for the first time. That's nice. And I found a mine shaft. Oh, look at this. Found diamonds for the first time. Here my first diamonds are. How about it? That was really easy. 4 diamonds right there. But then I got attacked by a cave spider and had to retreat into a hidey hole. Whole desire was to create the music that he genuinely wanted to create at that point in time. Oh no. Okay. Am I about to die? Okay, good. And when he wanted to create, and that hidey hole is where I am right now, and where I crafted this beautiful diamond pickaxe that I have. I also decided to cook up some of the iron that I found, and apparently I already took it out. And with that iron, for the first time, I'm going to create some armor for myself. I think this has been a long time coming. It's honestly a miracle that I haven't gotten killed yet. And there some iron boots are. This episode is going to be dedicated to mining, if you haven't been able to tell. I realized that in the first couple episodes I hadn't done any mining whatsoever. So I think for the rest of this episode I'm just going to dedicate it to exploring this cave system. See if I can get some more diamonds and maybe get some obsidian and head into the Nether for the first time as well. There's another thing that I wanted to talk about in this episode, and that was being genuine in your creation. So often, when bands, like Linkin Park, for instance, is a great example of this, change their style, a lot of fans become very disappointed by it. They say this isn't as good as their old stuff. You know, what happened? You guys were so good back then, and now you're totally different, and now you suck. I've seen it a million times. The same thing goes with Kanye West and his album Yeezus. When Yeezus first came out in 2013, it received a lot of hate. And now, many years later, a lot of people find that they're looking at, or when they re-listen to it, it's actually a pretty good album. And these artists, by the way, here's some obsidian, I think I'm going to try and get this obsidian. Maybe create another portal. So these artists change up their style. And what happens is it's not what the fans are expecting. It's not what the fans are accustomed to. And they want what the artist has always created. They want them to create that style of music again. But the truth is, oftentimes, the artists themselves change. They wouldn't be genuine to themselves or to their fans, really, if they created the same kind of content that they had always created. And that's because over time people change. So really it wouldn't make any sense for the content creator's content to not change, because nobody stays the same. And I guess what I wanted to say with this is that a lot of the times it boils down to people's expectations. If someone has certain expectations for their what am I trying to say here? I guess a lot of times we find new music by artists disappointing if it's different because it's not what we expected it to be. But then years later you can go back to it when the expectations are no longer there, and you can realize, like, wow, you know, this is actually pretty good. I should put this away, this diamond right here. That's how it was with me in a lot of Linkin Park's albums, and with me in Kanye West's album Yeezus. And I feel like I need some water before I do this. See if I can find some water. I want some water so in case the when I dig into the obsidian, I want to make sure that the water doesn't or I want to make sure that I can create more obsidian. You know, this is not the right way to go about this. So I wanted to make the whole point of this episode being, I'm going to try and create the content that I genuinely want to create. Just like I think artists should create the content that they genuinely want to create themselves, regardless of how the fans feel about it. And only when you create content that you feel genuine about can you create your best content. So in the first episode, what I genuinely wanted to do was create an episode where I just went around talking, exploring the map and talking. The second episode, I wanted to create a house. I wanted to create a house, but since I found the village and desert temple, I thought it would be fun to explore those. And I also, in that episode, I wanted to try editing for the first time. In this episode, my original plan was to mine for about an hour and a half straight and post that video as the third episode of the Let's Play, completely unedited, just like the first video. And I wanted it to be basically practice for me, practice in talking to a camera, to an audience, And it was a total disaster. I started doing the mining at the beginning of this episode, and I was all over the place. I was second guessing myself, and I was just having a rough go of things. So that's why I ended up doing the montage that I did at the beginning there. Because, yeah, I don't know, I just wanted to, it was so bad. It was literally the worst thing. It was awful. So I realized, like, oh man, you know, I can't do this. I have to stop. I stopped myself before I got too far into it. And I decided to, yeah, do it this way instead. And I had a lot of fun making that montage. I actually did that before this segment here that I'm filming now. Alright, so I'm gonna collect the rest of the obsidian here, and then I'll be back to you. That last segment didn't go perfectly, but I've spent this whole episode so far feeling self-conscious. I can't help it. That last segment, I think I did a good job at not caring about how I felt and just doing it anyways. Or not stopping. The good way to put it is not stopping myself because I felt subconscious, which is something that I'd been doing earlier. I was like, oh, this is no good, I need to stop. But in that last segment, I was like, no, dude, you have to keep going. Like, you can't not keep going. You just have to do it. So this pool seems to be never ending, so I think I'm going to stop collecting the obsidian after this one right here. So in the end, I ended up with 40 pieces of obsidian, and I'm definitely going to create another portal by the end of the episode. But for now, I think I'm going to keep exploring and talk more about what it means to be a genuine artist. Because sometimes there are situations and things that can get in the way of being genuine. Take, for instance, the desire to be popular. Whether you're a musician or a YouTuber, it's pretty easy to want to... It's human nature. It's human nature to want views. It's human nature to want to be successful. So sometimes, if what you genuinely are trying to create doesn't line up with being popular or getting a lot of views or selling a lot of records, that could lead many individuals to sell out and to do what makes them popular, to do what makes them get views. And I know a lot of people are judgmental towards people like that, but it really is human nature. And that sort of thing is the kind of thing that gets in the way of creating genuine content. I think another thing that gets in the way of creating genuine content is social media. Now, I'm not trying to be one of those media naysayers or anything, social media naysayers, but I do believe that YouTube and other forms of social media kind of are distracting, because there's so many different videos that you can click on and different posts that you can click on and see that I find often I go onto the website and with a goal in mind, and I leave having done something completely different from the goal I originally had and totally forgetting what I'd originally wanted to do, to watch. I feel like that's definitely, a downside to YouTube and all social media, and it makes it hard to be genuine because it's so easy to get distracted that oftentimes you forget who you are or what you actually like, because it's so easy just to click on the next funny looking video that you see. Oh shoot, okay, that was close. So yeah, I think that can get in the way of being genuine. And I think another thing that can get in the way of being genuine with your creation, besides being popular, there's other traits that you could think you want to have. I'm trying to think of a good way to explain this. So, for instance, before I moved out on my own, I had never lived by myself before, and I'd never had to take care of myself because I'd always lived at home with my family. And after going to community college for 2 years, what I thought was, when I move out to my 4-year university, I want to prove that I'm independent. So I wanted to rough it on my own, and I wanted to take care of myself and cook for myself, which obviously I have to. There's no way you can get around that. But the reason I wanted to do that wasn't because I genuinely cared about cooking or cleaning, or it was more so to prove to, I don't know who, maybe my family, maybe to myself, maybe to just people in general, that I could hack it on my own, that I was independent. But that wasn't necessarily genuinely what I was actually interested in doing. It was just something, since I had never lived on my own, I felt like I had to prove that I could do it and prove that I was independent. And what I've learned is that having to take care of yourself is not something that's fun, and having to rely on yourself all the time is not necessarily a great thing. That relying on other people is actually nice sometimes. Obviously, there's a certain level of independence everyone has to have, but doing everything by yourself is not the way to go. But it took me wanting to be independent and do everything on my own to realize that no, that's not the best way to live life. So the same thing could be said when you're trying to create content. Who knows, like, or maybe you could argue that I wasn't creating content because it's, like I said, it's always something I've wanted to do, but I wasn't doing it because at that point in time, I felt like I needed to prove to myself that I could be independent and hack it on my own and live the good life, or not the good life, but be a man, I guess, who could take care of himself. So it's stuff like that that can distract you from making genuine content and acting how you genuinely are as a person. Definitely, other people also have an impact on being a genuine creator. It's definitely, if there's someone you care about that wants something different from you, for you, than what you want for yourself, it's very hard to go against what that person wants or thinks is best for you. If you truly respect their opinion, but what you actually want is different from what they want, it's very hard to stand up to that. Because it's just a difficult thing to do. A good example of that is a college student, for instance, who wants to go into a major different from what their family wants them to do, or wants to drop out of college and do something totally different. Like, this is just some random example. Let's just say there was someone who is in college to be a microbiologist, and then they're like, you know what? My passion is to cut people's hair. Obviously, the family probably wouldn't be very happy about that. But that's the type of thing that can make it hard to be genuine to yourself. Because no one wants to disappoint the people they love and care about. Yet at the same time, by the way, I'm totally lost in the cave. I have no idea how to get back to where I was. But the whole point of what I'm trying to say is, it's difficult to go against the people that you love. It's difficult to do your own thing when what they want for you is different than what you want for yourself. And to be genuine and to truly enjoy what you're doing, I think you have to do what you want to do anyways. But yeah, those are just some things. I just wanted to continue on the whole genuineness discussion and just talk about, yeah, sometimes it is hard to actually be genuine to yourself anyways. It's a difficult thing to do, but it's what I'm striving to do in my life as a whole and in this Let's Play. I want to be genuine and create what I want to create, and I want to create the kind of video content that I want to create in life. And you know, one thing that I used to do in the past that I don't do anymore is journal. I kept a journal. And at the time that I kept the journal, it was something that I loved doing and genuinely wanted to do. But eventually, I outgrew it. Not because I think it's a bad thing to do, it's just I didn't genuinely want to do it anymore. And right now, what I genuinely want to do is this, and eventually I probably won't genuinely want to do this anymore. And I'll change, and I'll do something else instead. So I guess I just want to say that early on in this Let's Play that I'm going to do what I genuinely want to do. And I definitely don't ever want to disappoint anybody that comes to like my content. But I think the way to create the best content is to do the stuff that you love doing. So yeah, I'm going to cook all this up and then I'll be back in a minute. So in the end, that was a pretty good take on my first day of mining. I found a name tag, 4 pieces of diamond, 3 of which I spent making a diamond pickaxe, 40 obsidian, 55 iron, 45 lapis lazuli, 7 gold ingots, 73 redstone dust, and then 103 pieces of coal. Now, I'm going to head back up to the surface and make one final point about being a genuine creator. And that point is that success makes it a lot easier to be yourself. Because once you're successful, that's not going to be hanging over your head anymore. So it frees you up to be more creative and explore who you are as an artist without having to worry about, say, making a living or just wanting to be successful in the first place. Because like I said, it really is human nature to want to be successful, and there's nothing wrong with that. But if you get over that hump and become successful, it's a lot easier. It just becomes a lot easier to be yourself and and experiment. And a good example of this is seen with a band like the Beatles, where as their career progressed, their final albums became more and more experimental. So yeah, I just wanted to make that last point here. And I hope I'm going the right direction. I think I am. Oh yeah, this is the right way. So yeah, success cures all. And I'm going to try and be genuine to myself even before I'm successful. And I see it's nighttime right now. So I'm going to build my way up to the surface. And hopefully there's not a lot of mobs up there, although I'm sure there is. Oh, and it's raining. Oh my goodness. Let's see it. There 3 creepers are right there. Alright, I'm going to make it daytime. And then once I do that, I'm going to try and find a good place to put the Nether portal. I'll go into the Nether and then I'll call it an episode. So I will see you in a couple minutes. Finally, okay. So yeah, I think I'm going to build my nether portal behind my base. Kind of in this area back here where I haven't really explored much yet. Just going to build it right back here. So yeah, let's get on with it. Oh my god. Okay. Hopefully it looks cool as hell. But we'll see. Let's see what height we're at right now. 89, so that's interesting. Honestly, not a very good place to spawn the nether portal. If you want me to be honest, I'm a little disappointed. But that's okay. Let me dig my way over here. Okay. I can make do with this. Look at that. I'll definitely come back here sooner rather than later. Probably explore. Well, everybody, it's that unfortunate time of day where I have to end the episode. I know. So disappointing. But one great thing we get to do is, you guessed it, expand the sugarcane farm. I think I'm going to make this an annual tradition. At the end of every single episode, I'm going to expand this farm. Not really, don't get your hopes up. But for now, that's what I'm going to do. So let's see, right now I have 63, 64, 66 total. And I'm pretty sure there was already 33 there. So let's see what it looks like when it's expanded. Oops. Wow, that is beautiful. Have a good one, everybody. Peace out. Like creative.
Let's see,
This
how
is
can I get
terrible.
down here?
Okay.
I might just have to
I think
jump.
I'm just.
By
By
the way, I'm
exploring this cave
right
because
after he left the Red Hot
this
Chili
is
Peppers
like in
idea.
2009. He released an album called
This
"This Is
do it
the
like
Best,"
this.
which is my favorite album that I've ever listened
Option.
to.
Oh man, I'm
Okay.
glad I didn't jump down
By
there.
him, anyways. I shouldn't just say that outright, but
It's true.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
awful.
awful.
This
This
is
so
an awful
soulful,
idea.
so I can
Cool.
get
I'm
some
not
good
gonna do it
materials,
like
but I
this.
also don't.
Many
I don't just
people
want to
are like,
flat
yo,
out
why
go
you
up
pick the Red Hot
line.
Chili Peppers? Like we love,
Oh, hello.
we
We
love
love
you
you
and
and
the Red Hot Chili
Burning.
Peppers.
And I actually want this to be good.